And let's bring on Feroze Azeez as well, just to have him weigh in on the overall impact. Remember that these new norms will replace your total expense ratio norms. The way that things are calculated has changed. Feroze Azeez, very good morning and thanks so much for taking the time. Let's split this up into 3 buckets, right? You would look at it, 1 from the perspective of the investor, 2 from the perspective of the AMC, and 3 from the perspective of the broker. Can you explain the implications for each of these 3 cohorts?
And good morning, Alex. I'll add another vertical to that. That's a distributor. Right. And what's the impact on each of them? So I personally think from an investor standpoint and a distributor standpoint, the cleanliness of TER computation was very critical. So I think that it's a 10 on 10 with respect to computation and transparency. There was always no intent issue with AMCs. Those are the most regulated entities managing any third party money with fiduciary responsibility. If as an investor, if I don't trust mutual funds for regulatory purposes, then I don't think I should invest anywhere other than leave my money under the bed or the mattress. So it's so well regulated. Having said which, there was still a difficulty for a distributor or a client to understand the statutory levies because those are variable costs. If there is one fund with a larger churn that could have different brokerages, different STTs, different exchange costs than another fund which is more static. So if that was jumbled up with a total expense ratio, earlier in the industry, we had another concept called distributable TER. DTER, we used to call it, total and distributable, minus the expenses. It was very difficult for us to decipher what was the distributable TER. So with respect to making it clean, nothing better. Transparent, very, very good. For AMC, I think it's also one step forward. Marginal short-term hit. I think the markets had already provisioned the larger hits. For AMC shareholders, it's a very good thing because we're still 2% of US mutual fund industry. That's a 3,500 lakh crore in rupee terms. We are just 70 lakh crores thereabouts. So it's just 2% of US mutual fund industry. So for an AMC, it's good. From a distributor standpoint, there is a little hit of 3-4 bips or 2-3% for distributors like us in terms of expense ratio, but that's not a large hit either to the AMC shareholder or the distributor shareholder if he is a owner.
Okay, so just a quick follow-up to that. Feroze, the conversation in the circles of analysts that track the space is that there is also a possibility that AMCs will want to push a little bit of the impact that they will face onto the distributors, right? Where there's even some that have gone ahead and said they might put 50% of the impact. So we were speaking to one CEO today and he was saying for the AMC as a whole, they're likely to see an impact of only about 1 to 1.5 basis points. Our understanding of that is that that's net of pushing through some of the impact onto the distributors. Is that fair?
Yes, Alex, if I do the math, now the CEO, AMC CEO, whatever he has told you or she has told you is absolutely right. Why? Because, see, there's hardly any change in expense ratio. What has changed is costs. See, there was that 5 basis points charged on the entire assets under management of a scheme in the lieu of exit load. That was an oxymoron. Exit load is for money which go out. So that was a temporary measure given a few years back. So exit load charged on the money which is staying with you, it's an oxymoron if you get that. So that 5 bips had a reasonable portion for us, for example, 3 bips of that would come to us if I have to be transparent. So will that 3 bips go away? The answer is yes. If brokerages were getting 12 bips, now they're getting 8.5 like you were computing yourself. That is a 3.5% hit gone to broking firms and 1-2 paisa left for the AMC. So all of them have taken 2-3 bips kind of a hit. So that's and a fair one. And you feel good about it rather than bad about it being an industry participant.
Feroze bhai, Neeraj here. Good morning. The overarching belief also is that these norms that have come out are lesser worse off than feared originally, and which is why the reactions on almost all of the capital market names are constructive. My question though is slightly long term. Do you think in your wisdom that most of the rules and regulations for transparency as well as reducing the costs are now already in, or could there be further drastic moves by the regulator for costs?
Yes, Neeraj, sir, good morning. Like you rightly said, I was noticing how the regulator has created expectation with industry participants. Generally, the regulator's consultation paper is a little more scarier than the final regulation because they know there's going to be some degree of representation from the industry. So I also now have started, if you look at data of the last 10 consultation papers to what actually got enacted, there's a softened blow all the time. And that's what gets provisioned in any paper which gets put out is my current belief. Unfortunately or fortunately, markets react to stocks on the basis of consultation paper. And when the actual impact comes, there's a positive momentum on the stock, which is, I think, good. Short-term investors go away looking at the consultation paper, giving stock to a long-term owner, which I think deserves more money made. Now coming to, do I think this is behind us? I think, I pray it is behind us. And I'm sure the logic is very well understood by the regulator. See, anybody who wants to save cost, you've given them another alternative, which is a direct alternative. And that's no new alternative. That's 11 and a half years old. You gave that almost 12 years old. 1st January 2013, you gave an investor a choice. Neeraj can directly go to an asset management company and bring down 70 bips of cost. Why tinker around with 2%? Or 2 bips or 3 bips, reducing the chance of a distributor finding it viable sitting in a bhatinda to become a distributor. If you are a mutual fund industry wanting to get scale, you don't want to shoo away the distributors which actually go pick up their bike, go pick up the check, deposit it in tier 2 cities who are not very familiar with technology, right? So I think it is behind us.
Yeah.
Third, I think it's 4-5 years at least. I think there'll be a lull period where people are not going to be discussing 2, 3, 4 bips, which is immaterial to the client, to my mind.
Yeah. We've already gone up in multiples for the assets under management over the last 5 years. I wonder where we'll end up in 5 years. Feroze, thanks so much for taking the time. Pleasure having you.